Another day, another story. Sedentary behavior, SB, can be further classified as leisure time, transport-related, or occupational SB. A recent BMC public health study explores the impact of different domains of SB on an individual's quality of life and well-being. Sedentary behavior, which involves prolonged sitting or lying down with minimal physical activity, can have significant impacts on well-being and quality of life. Here are some key ways it can affect us. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Physical health. Extended periods of sitting are associated with increased risks of obesity, cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, and musculoskeletal disorders. Lack of movement can lead to muscle stiffness, poor circulation, and weaker bones. Mental health. Sedentary behavior has been linked to higher rates of depression and anxiety. Physical activity helps release endorphins and other chemicals that promote feelings of well-being and reduce stress. Being sedentary may also limit social interaction and engagement, which are crucial for mental health. Cognitive function. Regular physical activity is known to enhance cognitive function, including memory, learning, and problem-solving skills. Sedentary behavior, on the other hand, may contribute to cognitive decline over time. Quality of life. People who are more sedentary often report lower overall quality of life. Physical activity not only improves physical health but also boosts mood, self-esteem, and overall life satisfaction. Longevity. Sedentary behavior is associated with increased mortality risk, independent of other health factors. Regular physical activity, in contrast, is linked to a longer and healthier life. To mitigate the negative effects of sedentary behavior, experts recommend incorporating regular physical activity into daily routines, such as walking, standing breaks, stretching, or exercises. The toll of sedentary living, a personal journey. In the bustling city of London, Kate found herself immersed in her demanding job at a prestigious law firm. Hours spent hunched over documents and glued to her computer screen seemed to blur into one another. Despite her successes in the courtroom, Kate began noticing subtle changes in her health and overall well-being. Physical strain and health concerns. Kate's once active lifestyle had gradually given way to long hours of sedentary work. She noticed stiffness in her back and shoulders, often feeling fatigued even after a full night's rest. A routine checkup revealed early signs of high blood pressure and concerns about her weight. Her doctor explained that prolonged sitting was contributing to these issues, increasing her risk of heart disease and diabetes. Impact on mental and emotional health. Beyond the physical discomfort, Kate began experiencing mood swings and heightened anxiety. The lack of movement and outdoor activity had left her feeling isolated and disconnected from friends and family. Even her once beloved hobbies like running and yoga had taken a backseat to work demands, further affecting her mental clarity and emotional well-being. A shift towards wellness. Realizing the toll sedentary behavior was taking on her life, Kate decided to make a change. She started by incorporating short walks during her breaks and using a standing desk at work. Studying the health impacts of SB. Reducing SB is crucial for the prevention of chronic diseases and mortality. Excessive SB has also been associated with an increased risk of anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Since SB can accumulate in different ways, it is important to study the association between these domains, mental well-being, and overall quality of life. To date, there remains a lack of research on the association between mental health, quality of life, and prevalence of SB in adults. SB is associated with significant heterogeneity, as older adults who are 65 years and older and younger adults between 18 and 24 years of age may have more leisure SB, whereas working adults could have more commuting and working SB. Thus, a better understanding of how different individual characteristics determine SB could improve current recommendations on SB and how these behaviors affect an individual's health-related quality of life. Hokol. About the study. The current study assessed cross-sectional associations between SB-specific domains including leisure, occupational, and transport-related SB, and measures of quality of life and well-being. The researchers also investigated how these patterns differed between older and younger adults in a Portuguese university. Study participants were recruited online throughout November 2021 and invited to complete a questionnaire. A total of 584 participants completed the questionnaire. The International Physical Activity Questionnaire, IPAQ, was used to determine total SB, whereas separate questions were designed to capture the different domains of SB. The mean of general life satisfaction, GLS, and psychological well-being, PWB, measures were used to determine an individual's well-being, whereas quality of life was self-reported through the short-form survey, SF12. Study findings. A negative association was observed between PWB and all domains of SB, whereas GLS was negatively correlated with transport-related and occupational SB. Occupational and leisure SB were negatively associated with mental health in the unadjusted model. When covariates were considered, these relationships were attenuated, except for the persistent negative association observed between GLS and occupational SB. A Guide to Advancing Biotherapeutic Research ebook. Welcome to your essential guide to advancing biotherapeutic research. Download the latest edition. SB reduces physical activity, PA, which subsequently reduces the incidence of conditions that lead to poor well-being. This could be due to the mediation of biological factors, such as the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, during exercise. SB has also been linked to social isolation in adolescents and older people. Leisure time SB was also negatively associated with PWB in young adults. However, these associations were not observed with other SB domains. This may be due to increased leisure SB that is often accompanied by reduced PA, which is associated with higher levels of PWB. Younger adults also spend a significant amount of time in front of their computer or phone screens on social media. Excessive social media use has been shown to negatively impact PWB, with these effects largely dependent on how, why, and with whom social media is being used. In adults 25 years of age and older, GLS and mental health were negatively associated with occupational SB after adjusting for covariate factors, whereas the relationship between PWB and transport-related SB was negative in this age group. Leisure time SB and well-being outcomes were not correlated. This observation can be attributed to these adult participants reporting less time spent in leisure activities at 170 minutes each week as compared to young adults with an average of 269 minutes of leisure activity each week. Conclusions. The study findings indicate that SB is harmful to well-being and an individual's quality of life. Nevertheless, additional research is needed to determine the precise domain in which SB accumulation occurs. Current recommendations for SB primarily advise individuals to minimize time sitting in front of screens and sit less. However, further research in this area could refine these recommendations to be more domain-oriented and specific to certain age groups. Leisure SB appears to be particularly harmful for younger adults, whereas occupational SB was more detrimental in working-age adults. Future experimental studies are needed to confirm these observations. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.